The drama begins by introducing an intelligent child at a school. Here, the photos of both brilliant students who are the drama's male lead, Sue, and the drama's female lead, Song, are shown. When some children are bothering Sue, Song comes and starts to save him. Just then, we see that Sue has some superpowers, with which he places a hand on his nose, causing a vibration in his nose that makes the other people start to fall. But as soon as Song touches him, he is unable to use his powers. Then, they somehow manage to run away from there. Anyway, Sue then tells Song, "I will have to erase your memories," from which we learn that he also knows how to erase memories and has many other supernatural powers. After this, the scene jumps to some time later where Sue and Song are sleeping on the same bed. In the morning, Song wakes up and sees herself like this. Because of this, she gets very angry with Sue. Now, a scene from much later is shown where both of them are well established. Sue has now become the CEO of a big company, and Song has become a famous host. We see that Sue has been invited to a function where Song is the host. But here, seeing Sue, Song doesn't feel good and she goes and asks her boss, "You invited Sue and didn't even tell me?" Her boss says, "His arrival has increased the viewership, hasn't it?" Meanwhile, Sue's friend, Dr. Yan, calls and tells him, "You've definitely come here because of Song." After this, Song sees that her dad's business has gone into a downfall. Over there, Sue and his assistant Chung have a discussion that they were going to make a business deal with Mr. Song, but now that they have received news about Mr. Song's business, they will not do this deal anymore. But ultimately, Sue feels bad for all of this. He goes to Song, where Song is crying, taking Yinan's name. This Yinan is probably Song's crush. Seeing Song taking Yinan's name, Sue feels bad. After this, Song goes to a party so that she can find someone among her father's friends to help her. A person comes to her, but he flirts with Song, which makes Song uncomfortable, so Sue comes and takes her away from there. Then, Song leaves Sue, gets into a car, and drives away. Sue finds out that Song has rented this car, and after going some distance, she will leave this car and return home by herself. So Sue starts following Song, where after some time, some people come and start bothering Song. Sue comes and starts to save her, but just like before, whenever Song touches him, he is unable to use his powers. Over there, Yan is explaining to his students, there are some people who can use their brains more than normal people, but sometimes this can also become a threat to their lives because their brains cannot handle so much at once. From here, we find out that something like this is happening with Sue. On that side, Song repeatedly touches Sue to push him away, due to which Sue cannot use his superpowers and gets hurt. Then, Song drops Sue at his home, so Sue asks her to stay, but she leaves. Then Yan arrives there and tells Sue, "Whenever you are near Song, you use your brain more. That's why you are unable to use your superpowers." Just then, Chung arrives there and is happy to see these two together because she thinks they like each other, about which Chung is also writing a novel. Anyway, at night, Sue tells Yan, "I will open a company in your name from where I will give money to Song's company because I can't give this money in my own name." Over there, Song's boss fires her from the job because everyone thinks Song's dad is acting sick so that he doesn't have to pay money because of the company, and that's why Song's show is not getting an audience. Song doesn't have money to pay the bills and she goes to her dad in the hospital. There, the doctor tells her that her dad's condition is getting worse and she will have to take her dad to Dr. Yan. Song does research about Yan and remembers that she had seen this boy at Sue's house. So she decides to stay at Sue's house and signs a contract with Sue. She says, "I will live here, but my dad's health must be taken as a priority." Sue agrees, but even while living here, Song keeps ignoring Sue. At night, Sue calls Song for dinner, but Song ignores him. Song goes to the supermarket and tastes all the food that is kept outside, and in this way, she starts eating because she doesn't have money to buy food. Sue goes to celebrate Song's birthday, but Song gets angry because a few years ago, on her birthday, both of them got very drunk and slept together, and neither of them knew what had happened between them at that time. Song was angry about this then, and she is still angry today. Then Song tells her online friend, "I want to celebrate my birthday." This online friend is actually Sue, about whom Song doesn't know. Then Sue celebrates her birthday with firecrackers, which makes Song happy. She doesn't know that Sue did this for her, but she enjoys this celebration. The next day, Chung comes to Sue's house, sees Song, and is shocked. Song tells her, "Sue has hired me as his assistant for 100 days. During this time, I will also get to learn some work." After this, Song meets her friend, Nuan, who is going to interview an actress. But that actress says, "Nuan, you've come dressed so simply, I will not give you an interview." Just then, Song comes there and handles everything, and tells that actress she dressed up like this so that all the people would be focused only on you. Hearing this, that actress happily goes to give the interview. After this, Song leaves food on the gas stove and goes to take a bath. There, a tap breaks, so she screams. Sue comes there, puts a cloth on her, and somehow closes the tap. Coming outside, Sue sees that the food on the gas is burning, so he gets very angry. He tells Song, "You have no discipline, so how will you run a company?" Then, to teach Song discipline, he makes her do all the household chores. In fact, it is written in the contract that Song has to do every task Sue says, so Song cannot refuse here either. In the evening, when Song is free, she is about to go to the airport to receive Yinan. Yinan had told her that he is returning to China. Here, it is shown in a flashback that Sue had asked Yan, "How can one defeat a love rival?" The scene comes to the current time, and now Sue stops Song and says, "I have some work right now." So, at Sue's command, Song has to go to the supermarket with him and buy things for Sue. That's why Song is very angry and tells Nuan to receive Yinan. The next day, Song and Sue go to the office where Yinan makes an entry. Yinan talks to Song very nicely, and even after getting out of the elevator, these two continue to talk. Yinan goes to shake hands with Song, so Sue uses his powers, which gives Song a shock, and she pulls her hand back. This makes Yinan think that maybe Song is not comfortable shaking hands right now. Then Sue puts earbuds in Song's ears, and Song goes and sits in a meeting with his company's shareholders. Actually, these people have come to Song's company to have a meeting with Song. But these people think that Song has no business knowledge, so they start talking nonsense with Song. But Song starts speaking by listening to the things Sue is telling her. Here, she takes a stand for herself, which surprises everyone. After telling about her goals for this company, she leaves from there. Coming to Sue, she is very nervous, seeing which Sue laughs. Later, Sue tells Song to hire some special people and form a team. Over there in the office, everyone is discussing. Yinan and Sue are after Song. The office people also discuss who Song should go with. After this, Song hires some people, among whom are one of her dad's staff, Hao, and an office staff, Ni Yuan, and some other people. She forms a formidable team that Sue also likes. But after all this, Sue sees that these people are just playing games with each other more than working. Song also plays games with these people. Getting angry at all this, Sue scolds Song. So Song says, "I am just trying to be friendly with everyone so that later everyone can work easily." Hearing all this, Sue gets angry. Just then, Yinan comes there, which makes Sue feel jealous. Then Song and Yinan go to a restaurant and eat, and Song also posts a picture of this. Sue and Nuan also see these pictures. Then Nuan is looking at a picture where Song, Nuan, and Yinan are, from which we find out that maybe Nuan likes Yinan, or there is something between these two. Over there, Song comes home and looks at the fridge, so Sue says, "You have eaten from outside. Now clean the house." Actually, Sue is jealous, so he makes Song do such work. The next day, Nuan, Yinan, Song, and Sue go to an orphanage where all the children want to perform the drama Snow White. Sue has also come from this same orphanage, and since childhood, he and Yan have been good friends. Anyway, then everyone wants to become some character for the Snow White drama, and they are about to make a little girl the witch. But that girl is missing, so Sue and Song go to find her. They find that girl, and that girl says, "I don't want to be the witch. I want to be Snow White. I don't have any friends, that's why they are forcibly making me the witch." Sue tells that little girl, "When I was young, I also lived here. At that time, I also didn't have any friends. But then I found a friend named Yan, and we both became good friends. You will also find such a friend." Then Song tells that little girl, "I will do your makeup nicely." Then Song does her makeup, and the other children say, "From now on, we also want to be the witch because this girl is looking so beautiful as a witch." The little girl becomes happy with this. Later, Song asks Sue, "What are liability and asset?" Sue explains everything to her nicely, so Song asks, "What is liability?" Sue says, "You are the liability." In this way, Sue insults Song, and Song gets angry. The next day, Song wakes up late, so Sue tells her, "I will not give you a lift in the car." Song runs to catch the bus, but she gets on the wrong bus because this is the first time she is boarding a bus. She reaches the office very late, so Sue tells about one of his rules. Whoever comes to the office late, their photo will be clicked and posted. So the same is done with Song, which makes Song feel very bad. Over there, a person named Chen is shown, who is a very big businessman. He has a hand in the downfall of Song's company. He wants to capture this company. Meanwhile, Yinan comes to Sue and gets angry about why he insulted Song in front of everyone. He says, "Song is the boss. If you do this with her, how will she work?" Sue doesn't reply much to his words and tells him to focus on his work. On that side, Song is in a mall collecting some information because her next project is about the mall. Just then, a person is passing by who understands that Song is from a good family. They scam Song. They deliberately bump into Song, and because of this, a bracelet falls from that person's hand and breaks. That person says, "This all happened because of you. You will have to pay for this." Song says, "I didn't do anything," but that person takes her to the police station. Over there, Sue finds out about this matter and comes and saves Song. Sue tells that person, I know you are scamming. You will get trapped like this. That person gets scared and becomes very nervous, so the police understand everything and take him away. After this, Yinan comes and asks Song, are you okay? Song says, I am fine. After this, Song goes to Yinan's house with him, where these two, along with Nuan, cook food and spend some quality time. Here, Yinan takes more care of Song, which makes Nuan feel bad. Anyway, then Yinan drops both of them home. Here, Sue felt bad when Song went with Yinan. Now Sue keeps the door of his house closed. Song says, open the door. I have brought food for you. Hearing this, Sue happily opens the door. Song gives Sue the same food that Yinan has cooked. And hearing that Yinan has cooked this food, Sue says, he has cooked such bad food. Then Song goes to check her weight, so Sue says, if you eat so much at night, your weight will increase. Anyway, then these two go out for jogging. Here, Song plays a trick. She doesn't exercise properly, but Sue forcefully makes her run a lot. But then Sue checks Song's watch and sees that Song has taken very few steps. Sue gets angry at this. At home, Song has a lot of pain in her legs, so Sue says, I'm not going to arrange a massage treatment for you, am I? But the next day, Sue really orders a massage chair. Then these two go to the new mall's construction site. But Yinan is also there. He is talking to Song. Seeing this, Sue gets jealous and shouts at Song and says, you are not working properly at all. A little while after this, some construction-related things are about to fall on Song from above, but Yinan saves her. But Yinan gets quite hurt. That night, Song tells Nuan on a call, Yinan cares for me so much, I think I should propose to him and tell him how much I like him. Still, Nuan doesn't say much because she also likes Yinan. She says, do whatever you want, but do it after thinking carefully. After this, Song exercises, and just then she gets hurt on her head. Sue thinks, I don't know what happened to her, and getting tensed, he takes Song to the hospital. Seeing Sue's expressions, Dr. Yan also gets worried, thinking that maybe Song has a major injury. Sue says she got hurt while exercising. Hearing this, Yan thinks, Song only got such a small injury, and here Sue is overreacting so much. Yan tells Song, you are fine. So then Song goes to meet her dad. Here, Yan tells Sue, Song is perfectly fine, but you are not fine. The more you stay near Song, the more you are using your mind. You will die like this. Stay away from her. After this, Song decides that she will go to meet Yinan. So Sue calls Chung and tells her, you tell Song that there is a meeting right now. Chung does the same. So Song says, okay, I'll see. Then she wears a nice dress, but she can't zip it up. So Sue tries to help her by closing his eyes to put on the zipper, but because that dress is very tight, its zipper breaks. Then Song comes wearing another dress, so Sue says, this is very tight. Song ignores him, but after some time, her dress tears a little. Sue starts laughing at this. Song thinks, forget it, let it be, I'll just go to the meeting. Sue takes her and leaves, but he talks very absurdly with Song. So Song thinks that maybe there is no meeting at all, and she goes and sits in her car. Over there, Yan goes on a date with a girl, and Chung is there, secretly watching these two. She thinks that Yan and Sue are in a relationship, so maybe due to his parents' pressure, Yan has come on a date with this girl. So Chung goes and grabs Yan and says, my husband, your children are very good. Seeing this, that girl leaves, and Yan gets angry at Chung. So Chung says, come on, I'll take you to Sue. Then she starts riding the scooter, and in a short time, she narrowly avoids an accident. So Yan goes to drive the scooter and says, you sit, I'll drive. Here, Song is in a restaurant with a cake for Yinan, but Yinan doesn't come there, so Song decides that she will go to Yinan's house. Over there, Yinan receives a photo in which it is shown that Yinan is about to kiss Song. On the back of the photo, it is written, do you want me to tell Song what you did to her that night? Then Nuan comes there and, deceiving Song, confesses her love in front of Yinan. In law school, Yinan was Nuan's senior. Nuan shows a book inside which there are some letters. Actually, Nuan used to write law-related questions and put those questions inside that book. And there was someone who used to send answers to those questions by writing letters. In reality, this letter sender was Yinan himself. Since then, Nuan has liked Yinan. Yinan also says that he also likes Nuan. Here, Song comes outside Nuan's house and sees a shadow on her window curtain in which two people are kissing. So Song thinks that Nuan must already have a boyfriend. She gets sad and goes to a restaurant and drinks a lot. Here, Sue is missing Song, and just then he finds out about Song, so he goes to Song. Here, Song is very drunk, and seeing Sue, she kisses him. She says, Yinan, you could have told me that you already have a girlfriend. Sue understands that Song has been rejected. After this, Sue takes her home and puts her to sleep. The next day, Sue tells Song, there's no need to go to the office. You rest. Song says, no, I have to go to the office today. Then Song gives a presentation in the office, which not everyone likes very much, but they still listen to Song's words. Sue points out many mistakes in this presentation, but he says, but the presentation is made well. Then Song comes out of the presentation room and hears some employees saying, Yinan is so handsome, he must have a girlfriend. Hearing all this, Song feels bad. Chung comes and asks, what happened? Sue only caught your mistakes, but overall the presentation was good. After this, to cheer Song up, Sue takes her to an amusement park. But Sue says, to build the mall, we need to collect some ideas from the amusement park. Saying this, he has brought Song to the park. Slowly, Song starts enjoying herself in this park, which makes Sue feel good. On that side, we see Mr. Lee, who holds a very high post in Song's company, and Yinan talking. Mr. Lee's intentions regarding Song's company are not good. Yinan also in reality wants bad for Song and wants to somehow remove Sue from the company. Here, Song gets on one ride after another, and Sue has to follow her. Sue gets scared seeing so many rides. He gets very troubled and uses his superpowers, due to which other people's riding cars collide with Song's riding car. But after all this, ultimately, by the end, both of them enjoy a lot. While returning home, Song tells Sue, when I was 17 years old, I fell in love with Yinan. He has done a lot for me, which is why I started loving him. But in reality, Sue had done all those things for Song, but Yinan took credit for all of it. But still, Sue doesn't tell Song anything about this. The next day in the office, Yinan tries to get close to Song, but Song ignores him. After some time, Song is about to enter Yinan's room, so Yinan pretends to be talking to someone on a call and says, my friend and his wife are staying at my house for a few days, that's why I have to sleep in the office. Hearing this, Song thinks that the person she saw must be Yinan's friend and his wife. That's why she forgives Yinan, and these two again make plans to meet up. Over there, Chung thinks, if Sue is hanging out with someone else, how bad Yan must be feeling. So Chung goes and meets Yan, where Yan is thinking why this girl bothers him so much. Then these two go to eat, and Yan sees that Chung eats a lot. While eating, Chung explains to him, getting hurt in love is common, please don't be sad. At this, Yan thinks, maybe Chung likes me, that's why she is caring for me so much. On the other side, Song is cooking a tasty dish, but Sue doesn't like that dish because it is quite spicy. But Song tells Sue, taste the dish once. So he tastes that dish, and he also likes that dish. After this, everyone in Song's company is going to develop a new game. They have kept the theme of this game as an ancient Chinese village. They finish all the work related to this game very well. Then Song says, I will give everyone a dinner treat. But Ni Yuan says, I have some work, so I have to go now. So after this, everyone goes downstairs for dinner. Song is also about to go down, but then she remembers that she forgot some things upstairs. So she returns upstairs and then she sees Ni Yuan. Here, a person is irritating Ni Yuan. In fact, this person is the assistant of Mr. Lee, who works in that top post. That's why no one can say anything to him. But Song tells that person, stay away from Ni Yuan. That person says, you won't even be able to fire me from here because not you, but your dad is the owner of this company. And the CCTV of this place also doesn't work. To this, Song says, before coming here, I had turned on the CCTV. And hearing this, that person gets scared. After this, Song goes and tells Yinan and Mr. Lee about this and asks to fire Lee's secretary from the job. Lee says, he works very well, I can't fire him. Anyway, it's that girl's fault because she comes to the office wearing a very short dress. Song gets very angry and fires that secretary from the company herself. Song also makes a post that she will never tolerate sexual assault. She will always try to maintain a safe environment in the office. But here, we find out that Ni Yuan had helped that secretary in one thing. But what that help was, we will find out later. But because of this help, Ni Yuan will not be kept in the company. So Sue hires her in his company, and in this way, he saves Ni Yuan. The next day, a business event takes place where Chen, a businessman, Mr. Lin, and all other people are present. There, Chen presents the same presentation that Song's company has made. Actually, Ni Yuan has leaked this information from Song's company to Lee's secretary, and that secretary has leaked this information to Chen. For this, Song forgives Ni Yuan, but she withdraws her company from this event. At this, Mr. Lin gets very angry and says, I didn't know that Song's company would do something like this. Because of all this, they also have to face some losses. Then Lee says, such important information cannot be leaked by just a simple secretary. There must be a high-ranking person behind this. Saying this, he points a finger at Sue. Song also starts to believe that Sue has done all this. A fight breaks out between Sue and Song over this matter. Then Song goes to dinner with Yinan. Here, Sue comes home, and Yan also comes to him and gives him company. Then Yan calls Cheng and says, Sue will not go to the office for 2 to 3 days. Please, you handle everything. Cheng agrees to this. Over there, Yinan is continuously flirting with Song, which makes Song feel very weird. Then Yinan drops Song at Nuon's house, which Nuon sees from her window. She doesn't like at all that her boyfriend is getting so mixed up with Song. The next day, Chung tells Song Sue will not come for 2 to 3 days. Song gets angry and says, how can he leave his responsibilities? At least he should come to the office. Then Song goes and talks to Mr. Lee and says, I want to remove Sue from his position. Lee also supports her. Then we see that it was Mr. Lee who leaked the information of this company. He tells this to a person, and just then a lady is sitting in the room next to them, playing an instrument. This lady is actually Song, who records their conversation. Actually, Sue and Song were acting as if they were fighting. This was their plan. In fact, when Ni Yuan said that the secretary must have leaked the information, Sue and Song understood that Lee himself had leaked the information because that secretary was Lee's man. Anyway, then the scene comes to the current time, and Song tries to get out of that place, but she can't get out because the door's locked. Just then, at the right time, Sue comes and takes her away, but Lee has some doubts, so he goes outside to check. Just then, Sue acts like he is kissing Song, seeing which Lee thinks some young couple is having a romance, and he leaves from there. The next day, there is a board meeting where Lee thinks, today, Sue will be fired from the company and Song won't be able to do anything alone. So the whole company will be mine. And on top of that, Chen will also give me money for passing the information. Just then, Song makes everyone listen to that recording, from which all the shareholders find out the truth. At this, Lee asks for some time to prove himself innocent. Over there, Chung is with Yan, and she is shown photos of one boy after another to go on a blind date, where Yan doesn't understand why Chung is doing all this. Here, Song goes to the hospital to see her dad, and there she sees Yinan, so she tells Sue, don't come right now, come after 15 minutes. But Sue sets the wrong time on his phone, and then after 2 minutes he goes and shows his phone to Song and says, look at this, I came at the right time. After this, Yinan comes there and gives Song an apple, but Sue takes it and eats it himself. Anyway, then Song finds out that Yinan's health has deteriorated there, so she follows all the procedures to get Yinan admitted. Then she gives the admission-related documents to Nuon and tells her to take care of Yinan. Nuon gets frustrated. She tells Yinan, even at dinner last night, you weren't paying attention to me. If Song is going to handle all your admission formalities, then what kind of girlfriend am I? Over there, Song completely forgets that she had a meeting with Mr. Lin today. She then goes to Sue, and Sue gets very angry with her because Song didn't come to the meeting, and that's why Mr. Lin left from there. Then Sue says, Mr. Lin is going somewhere for a few days, and I will also go there. You will also have to go with me to talk to him. Then they go to the same hotel where Lin is. Song finds out that the corner room of the hotel is haunted. She then fearfully goes inside the room and gets scared just by looking at herself in the mirror. Her heartbeat becomes fast, which Yan can also see. In fact, Yan had given Song a watch that measures her heartbeat, and that measurement is reflected on a machine that Yan has. So Yan calls Sue and tells him Song's heartbeat has become fast, and Sue goes to his room to see Song. After some time, Song is clicking photos of Sue. Seeing this, Sue smiles and messages Yan, asking, why is she taking my photos? Yan says, maybe she has started to like you. Then Song says, this room is haunted, so if a ghost comes, I will show the ghost your photo, which will scare the ghost away itself. Hearing this, Sue smiles. Then Song, while pushing Sue out of the room, says, go on, my work is done. Now you go. Just then, suddenly there is a power cut. Song again calls Sue back. Sue says, so now, should I stay or should I go? Song says, please forgive me. Stay for a little while. Then these two eat together and spend some quality time, which makes Sue happy. Then they meet Lin, but Lin refuses to work with them. Song starts requesting a lot, so Lin says, okay, take this card. This is Miss May's card. She has stopped doing ballet. If you can get her to do one performance for me, I will think about working with you. Then these two meet Miss May and request a performance, but Miss May says, I have aged, so I will not perform. After this, the security comes there and wants to take Sue and Song away because these two have come to Miss May after stealing a reporter's camera. Just then, a photo of Mr. Lin and Miss May falls from Song's hand. In fact, when Sue and Song were leaving from Lin's place, Song and Lin bumped into each other, and things fell from their hands. At that time, Song starts picking up the things from below, where she accidentally gets this photo. The scene comes to the current time, and Miss May asks Song about this photo. Then Sue and Song tell them about Mr. Lin. So May goes to meet Lin, and these two talk to each other. Then Sue is with Mr. Lin, and Song is with Miss May. Lin and May tell their stories to these two. They say that when May had just started doing ballet, she met Lin. At that time, Lin used to work as a cleaner in a theater. They got to know each other. and they fell in love. Then May got a big offer from somewhere, so Lin said that his health was bad, so he couldn't go with May, and saying this, he sends May away. May didn't want to leave him and settle there, so Lin later sent May news that he had gotten married, which was actually a lie. But until now, neither of them has moved on. Sue and Song call each other and put the phone on loudspeaker, so Lin and May hear all of each other's words. Still, these two don't want to meet each other. Later, Sue meets Song and says, "After you cut the phone, Lin gave some shocking news. He has a major illness, because of which he is going to die soon." Song says, then he should spend the remaining few days with May. Then Sue goes and tells May everything about Lin. So then May does ballet again, and Lin gets emotional seeing her. Then these two hug each other, and thus their love is completed. Then these two go and click photos with Sue and Song. Over there, Chung sends Yan on blind dates with different girls, which makes Yan angry. Just then, Yan gets a call where he is told that he has to perform a brain surgery on a pregnant lady. He performs the surgery, and the baby is saved, but the lady dies. Yan's mood gets off, so Chung starts to support him. On that side, Sue and Song go to a market where Song buys 3 toy boxes. Here, she searches for her favorite toy, but she doesn't find it. So Sue buys 3 boxes and says, "If you find that toy in any of these, you have to shout in front of everyone. Sue, you are so good. I like you very much." So then, Song finds that toy in one of these boxes. Just then, Yinan and Nuan arrive there, and they lie that they have come for work. In fact, they have come for a trip. Here, according to the challenge, Song says the lines Sue told her to say. The next day, Sue and Song make a presentation and send it to Mr. Lin. Just then, Yinan comes here, so Song quickly goes to another room and hides. But her lipstick remains on the sofa. Yinan comes and sees that lipstick. Then Sue goes inside the room to meet Song because Song keeps calling him by opening the door. Song says, "Save my lipstick." Sue says that Yinan has already seen that lipstick. Then Yinan and Sue are on the roof, where Yinan says, "Stay away from Song because I like her." Sue says, "I also like her, and this time I will not let her go." Just then, Song texts Yinan again and again to come to the office because she has some urgent work. So before Yinan reaches the office, Song reaches there. Then she tells Yinan it's nothing special, and in this way, she avoids the topic. In the evening, Sue asks Song for a picture of her and says, "I have to do some important work with this picture." So Song gives him a picture, which Sue goes and puts in his car. This is a very funny picture of Song. After this, Sue leaves the house and Song stays at home. Song's office colleagues want to party at her house. Song can't find any low-cost apartment, so she calls them to Sue's house. They come here and enjoy a lot. Just then, Sue arrives there because Sue's work finished early today. Song thinks, how did he come so early? She tells Sue, "Please, act a little and don't tell all of them that this is your house." Then, Yinan also comes here. Nuan had told him that a party was happening here. Now a competition starts between Yinan and Sue over Song, seeing which Nuan starts to hate Song. Later, Yinan tells Song, "I have found out that you are living with Sue," and he says absurd things to Song. Song says, "What are you trying to say? That I am a prostitute?" Just then, Sue is passing by and secretly listens to their conversation. Song says, "Sue has never touched me. When no one was there, he helped me." After this, Yinan and Nuan are about to go home, so Nuan says, "Please tell everyone that I am your girlfriend." Yinan doesn't agree, so Nuan breaks up with him. Over there, Yan is in his hospital, where he finds out from 2 nurses that someone has written a novel about 2 characters named Sue and Yan. Reading that novel, Yan understands that in reality, Chung has written about him and Sue. After this, Yan calls Chung and tells her everything. So Chung thinks, how did he find out? Over there, Yan thinks, now I have to explain everything to Chung properly. Over there, Song goes to the office, where Yinan asks her, "Are you upset about what I said yesterday?" Song says, "Yesterday's matter is in the past, but you should have thought before speaking about Sue." Here, Chung goes shopping with Yan. Actually, Chung's landlord has given her an apartment for a very low price, so she has come to buy a gift for that landlord. Hearing this, Yan feels jealous. At one point, he just says, "Your landlord is quite a pervert because no one gives an apartment to a girl for such a low price like this." Then Chung is coming down the stairs when a drunk person comes and irritates her. Just then, Yan comes there and punches that person, and that person faints. Yan checks and sees that the person's health is not good, so he picks him up and takes him to the hospital himself. Over there, Nuan is in her office where she hears some people discussing that Nuan's show will be shut down because that show is not getting high ratings. On that side, Sue takes Song to a big restaurant for a meal. Song gets scared thinking how expensive this restaurant will be. But Sue orders a lot of food, but Song only takes salad for herself. When the bill comes, the waitress says, "Due to today's offer, you get free food. And you are a lucky customer, so you get this VIP card which you can use to come any day for the next 1 month and eat for free." Sue knew all this, but he didn't tell Song, so Song gets angry at Sue. Then Sue takes her to eat noodles, and just then they are looking at each other, and Song feels that she has also started to like Sue. After some time, they see Yinan, who is lying down drunk. Sue lifts him on his shoulder and goes to drop him at his house. Seeing Song near him, Yinan tells her, "I have liked you all along." Just then, Nuan comes there, and seeing this, she can't remain silent. She shouts at both of them, "Get out of there!" and says, "I will take care of my boyfriend." Song finds out that her best friend is in a relationship with her crush. Nuan never told Song about this. Song feels very bad, and on top of that, Yinan is still flirting with her. So she leaves from there. Yinan lies to Nuan. "I thought it was you, that's why I said that." Here, Nuan again gives Yinan another chance. Later, Sue and Song are watching a movie where Song says, "You know, in this movie, a girl's best friend gets into a relationship with the girl's lover. In this way, they both cheat that girl." In fact, Song is talking about herself here. The next day, in the office, everyone looks at Song strangely. In fact, Chen has made a photo of Song and Sue go viral in which they are sleeping together. This photo is from a few years ago. From this, the news spreads that Song can sleep with anyone for her company, and that is why Sue is helping her. In the board meeting, everyone says, to save the company's reputation, Sue will have to leave the company. Sue says, "I have not made any mistake, so I will not leave the company." Song gets very upset and goes to her dad. She tries to remember what happened that day. She only remembers that she went to meet Yinan and had a little to drink, after which she fainted. Then, in the morning, she saw herself and Sue sleeping on the same bed. Over there, Sue also doesn't remember anything. Here, Chung comes and explains to Song, "Sue is about to leave the company now. You are the only one who can stop him. Please, stop him." After this, Yan asks Chung, "Did you write this novel? What is all this?" Then he kisses Chung and says, "I am not interested in boys, but in girls." Chung is shocked and doesn't understand what to say and runs away from there. On that side, Sue has called the media. He says, "It's not Song's fault. Don't write anything about her." Then he is about to say that he will leave the company when Song runs to him. Then she kisses him and tells everyone, "Sue and I have been dating for a long time, and we have kept our relationship a secret. Sue has not invested his company's money in my company. He has invested his own money. Now I don't know who has exposed our privacy in front of everyone, but whoever has done this, they will surely be punished." After this, Sue and Song act like a couple. Yan teaches them how to act and not get caught at all. He tells them such absurd things that they start laughing. Anyway, then these two are shooting for a uniform brand. Then Chung comes to Sue's house for some work, and Yan also comes here. Then Yan again trains Sue and Song to act like a couple. Then he says, "You guys learn and teach Chung too." Chung says, "You be quiet, you are a pervert." Then the four of them eat and spend quality time. The next day, a girl named Yu comes to the office to meet Sue. A few days ago, Song had seen this girl's messages on Sue's phone. She thinks maybe something is going on between these two. In fact, Sue and Song are now going to work with Yu. Then they go to the construction site where they will build the mall. Song finds out that some people have not yet vacated the place, so she goes to talk to those people. Here, Yu tells Sue, "I don't think Song will be able to handle her responsibilities well." Sue says, "She works very well. Give her a chance." Over there, Song overhears one of those people talking. She secretly listens to that man saying on the phone, "Don't you worry, I will not vacate this place." From this, it is understood that there is someone behind this who wants bad for Song. Actually, Chen is behind all of this. Then when Song goes to talk to the person who was on the phone, this person throws her into the water. Then she screams, "Help, help!" And suddenly, Sue comes there and saves her. During this, he uses his superpowers a lot, which makes his health deteriorate, and he gets admitted to the hospital. Over there, Song is also admitted in the same hospital. Yu stays with these two. After some time, Yu drops Song at the hotel. Then Sue tells Yu, "Don't tell Song anything about all this." After this, Sue goes to meet Song. So Song asks, "Where were you? Why am I in a hotel?" Sue says, "I was in the hospital." Yu says, "I was with him." Hearing this, Song feels jealous. Over there, Nuan nowadays hates Song without any reason. That's why she starts writing negative things against Song's company. Seeing this, Yinan gets angry at her. So Nuan says, "You care a lot about Song." Saying this, she starts to leave, but then a ladder is about to fall on Yinan. So Nuan comes and saves him, but Nuan gets hurt. Over there, Yu signs a contract to work with Sue and Song. Then Song goes to the washroom, and Yu also follows her there. Going there, Yu says, "I used to like Sue, and I still do. He told me that you would be able to work very well, that's why I signed the contract." Song says, "I will not disappoint you and Sue." and then she says, "You should stop caring for Sue because I will take care of him." Going outside, Yu wants to talk to Sue about something, but Song says that Sue is going with her to the hospital to meet her dad. So Yu laughs and says, Okay, I won't talk to him now. But Sue, you call me. Then Song goes to the hospital and sees that Nuan is admitted there and Yi Nan is talking to her. Both are saying sorry to each other. After this, Song meets her assistant, Jung Hao. Actually, she had told Jung Hao, "If you get any information about my 20th birthday, you should go and tell me." Actually, that private photo of Sue and Song was clicked at that time, and this photo is what Chen has made viral. Here, Jung Hao shows Song a picture where someone is mixing something in Song's drink, who has a mole on their left hand. Song goes and tells Sue about this, and she asks Sue to tell her whatever he remembers about that day. Sue says, "I only remember that I went to your house to find you, but I found out you went to meet Yi Nan, so I became very sad. I drank a lot, and then I don't remember what happened." Then Song calls Yi Nan to meet her. Just then, Mr. Lee comes to that restaurant, and a waitress accidentally spills something on his hand. Lifting his shirt, Lee cleans his hand, and Song sees a mole on his hand. She understands that Lee has orchestrated all this. She says, "I never thought you would do something like this." On that side, Sue calls Yi Nan and asks about that day. Yi Nan says nothing, so Sue uses his superpowers and is about to run a car over Yi Nan, so Yi Nan gets scared and says, "I did this to take pictures with Song on the bed." Yi Nan says, "Sue and I were both from poor families." Song's dad had decided that he would get Song married to Sue, and Song's dad would only keep Yi Nan as a lawyer for their company. But Yi Nan becomes greedy. He thinks, "I will take close photos with Song and blackmail her or something so that I can become the owner of the company." Hearing this, Sue says, "You will go and tell Song this yourself." Here, we see that on that day, when Yi Nan was opening Song's coat, Nuan was clicking a photo of them from outside. Nuan is the person who sends photos to Yi Nan and threatens him that she knows everything. Anyway, then she runs away from there. Then Yi Nan starts getting very close to Song, but then he hears a sound. Actually, Sue is coming from outside. Yi Nan immediately runs away from there. Because Sue was drunk, he goes and sleeps next to Song. After getting drunk, he feels very hot, so he also takes off his shirt. The next day, Sue and Song find each other on the bed, and they don't understand what had happened. The scene comes to the current time, but Sue doesn't tell Song anything because he wants Song to find out about this herself. Over there, Chen calls Yi Nan and says, "Mr. Lee has confessed his mistake, so now you will have to work for me." On that side, Chung goes to meet her landlord, where she sees Yan sitting. In fact, Yan is the landlord. Neither of them knew about this beforehand. But when Chung sees Yan, she doesn't understand that Yan is the landlord, and she thinks Yan must have come here to meet someone, and then Chung leaves from there. Here, Song makes Sue drink a lot to see how he acts when he is drunk. After drinking a lot, Sue feels hot, so he takes off his shirt. Song thinks maybe he was feeling hot like this that day too. That's why he took off his shirt. Then Song goes near him and Sue kisses her. So then she also goes to kiss Sue, but Sue falls asleep. Song thinks, just when I went to kiss him, he fell asleep. The next day, Song tells Sue, "Don't drink too much with any other girl." Song thinks, who knows if he drinks with another girl and kisses her too. Sue doesn't understand anything and thinks what Song is saying, and he starts laughing. Then Sue is with Yan. Touching Yan's hand, Sue finds out that Yan had kissed Chung. Yan says, "I kissed her to prove that I am interested in girls." Sue says, "Actually, you have started to like her." Then at home, Song is watching TV when Sue comes out of the washroom after taking a bath. Song keeps staring at him because now she has started to like Sue a lot. A kissing scene comes on TV, so Song keeps changing the channel, but everywhere only kissing scenes appear. Seeing this, Sue starts laughing. He says, "Are you feeling shy?" Song says, "It's nothing like that." And feeling shy, she leaves from there. Over there, Chen and Yi Nan think of doing something bad to Song's company. Yi Nan hesitates a little, but then he gets greedy and signs a contract with Chen. When Yi Nan returns home, Nuan tells him, "My show is probably going to be shut down. Can you talk to your company and see if this show can be prevented from being shut down?" But Yi Nan refuses to do so. On that side, Yan messages Chung, "Meet me at 7 o'clock." Chung goes straight to Song. She tells Song, "I have a friend who kissed her boss's friend. Actually, she is talking about herself here." Song says, "Did you kiss Yan?" Hearing this, Chung is shocked. Then Song makes her wear a pretty dress. She takes her to a nightclub. Here, Chung gets very drunk. At the same time, Sue is watching them from a distance. He calls Yan and says, "Take your girl away from here, otherwise she will drink too much." Yan doesn't want to go, so Sue requests him a lot. So then Yan goes and takes Cheng from there, and just then Song starts to follow him. So Sue comes and stops her. He says, "Let them both go. You come home with me." Over there, Yan makes Chung sleep in a hotel because he doesn't know where Chung's house is. He still doesn't know that he is Chung's landlord. Due to being very drunk, Chung holds Yan's hand and does absurd activities. Somehow saving himself, Yan leaves from there. The next day, Chung runs away from there. Here, Yan receives a message from Chung, which Chung has actually sent to her landlord. But from this message, Yan understands that the person staying at his house is probably Cheng. After this, Song is in her office where someone sends her a bouquet. She thinks Sue must have sent it, but with that bouquet is a letter in which it is written that this gift was sent by Chen. Song goes downstairs to meet Chen, where Chen says, "We want to work with your company." Song becomes happy. Chen offers her to go on an outing. Just then, Sue comes there, so Chen offers him too. Sue gets jealous and says, "You two go, I won't go." But ultimately, he does come on that outing. Here, Chen, Yinan, Cheng, Song, and Sue are playing a climbing game. Then Song is about to fall while climbing because Chen has tampered with her system, but Sue uses his superpowers and saves Song. Seeing all this, Chen feels strange and arranges to get the CCTV footage of that place. Here, Sue and Song are about to return home when Song says, "I will just get this contract signed in half an hour and come back." Then, Yinan tells Chen, "You told me that you wouldn't do anything to Song." Chen says, "I didn't do anything. That wire itself was faulty." After this, Yinan sees that Nuan has come to a hotel with a person. He suspects Nuan, so Nuan says, "I have just come to talk about a new job." Anyway, then Song goes to Chen. So Chen says, "If you defeat me in the game, I will listen to you." After this, Sue comes there and helps Song in the game, due to which they both win. So Chen agrees to sign the contract. Then he tells Song, "I want to give you a toy." Actually, Song's dad also has a similar toy which has a voice recorder, and Chen is the one who has done wrong to Song's dad. If Song gets that toy, she will find out about Chen. That's why he is testing Song by telling her about this toy. But Song doesn't mention anything about the voice recorder system, so Chen understands that she has not found out anything about Chen's bad deeds. Then Sue and Song leave from there, but Sue uses his superpowers and gets a sense that Chen is not a good person. And due to using superpowers so frequently, Sue's health also deteriorates. Song constantly asks him what happened to him, but he gets irritated and goes to his room because if he tells Song the truth, Song will get stressed. Sue goes to his room and faints for some time. Here, Song feels bad, so she goes and sits outside in the cold, due to which she gets a fever. Upon regaining consciousness, Sue goes out to find Song and sees that Song is sitting outside in the cold. He quickly takes Song to the room. The next day, Song says, "I saw on TV that there is going to be a meteor shower today." Sue says, "It won't happen in this weather." Song requests a lot that she wants to see the meteor shower. So finally, Sue agrees to show her the meteor shower. Then these two are about to go shopping. So Song comes wearing a very short dress. Sue gets angry and says, "You will get cold again because of this." So Sue makes her wear warm clothes and jackets. In the shopping mall, everyone is staring at Song because she's looking very weird. After this, Sue puts Song in the trolley and does the shopping. They both look very adorable and all the people start looking at them. At night, these two come to see the meteor shower, but there is no meteor shower. But Sue had arranged for fireworks for Song, so now fireworks are seen in the sky, which makes Song happy. Then, Song finds out that her dad's health has gotten better now. She goes and meets the doctor, and the doctor says, "This all happened because of Yan." Song meets Yan and talks to him and asks, "Is Sue an alien? Does he have superpowers?" Yan says, "You should stop watching weird dramas." But still, Song does research about humans and superpowers. Over there, Chen's assistant tells him, "Sue is finding out about you." Chen says, "He shouldn't find out too much about me." Here, Sue and Yan come to a place where a festival is going on. The motive of this festival is that all lovers will propose to their special ones on this day. Sue tells Yan, "I will tell Song everything very soon." Then Sue and Song are talking on the phone when Yan tells a girl, "Go and give this flower to Sue." Then Song hears this girl's voice from the other side of the phone, which makes her think that Sue is with someone else. She gets angry and cuts the phone. Here, Yan also tells Cheng, "Sue will tell Song everything." So Chung also messages Song, "Sue will propose to you today." Then Sue asks Song to go to a restaurant. In the restaurant, whatever comes, like a cake or a box. Song thinks, maybe the ring is in this, maybe the ring is in that. Then she comes out of the washroom and hears two waitresses talking. Sue was the one who made all the payments that day. But in front of Song, they showed it as if Song was a lucky customer, so she would get free food. Over there, Yan and Chung are discussing starting a new relationship with each other. Just then, Yan finds out something about Sue, so he goes to meet Sue. Yan goes and can't tell him anything. So Sue touches his hand and reads his mind and understands that he doesn't have much time left to live. Sue gets sad. He says, "I will tell Song everything truthfully today itself." Yan also agrees to this. Then Sue goes and tells Song, "We have come to this place before. Actually, this place is a garden. During school time, these two had come here. When other kids were bullying Sue, Song had brought him here." Song doesn't remember anything because Sue has deleted these memories from her brain. After this, Sue uses his superpowers, and all the flowers present their bloom, and Sue confesses his love to Song. Then, these two kiss. After this, Song goes to her old house where she finds a tape recorder. Actually, Song loves to listen to piano tunes, so that tune is recorded in this recorder. In reality, Sue had brought this recorder for her many years ago. After this, we are shown in a flashback that Yi-nan, Sue, and Song are sitting and watching a player who was retiring that day. Song says, "I wish I could get his signed jersey." Then we see that Song gets a jersey, and she thinks Yi-nan gave this jersey. But in reality, Sue had given it. He had taken this jersey from a friend of his. This friend used to play under that player and had won this jersey from there. But Sue doesn't tell Song this because Song already thought that Yi-nan had given the jersey. The scene comes to the current time. Sue is putting Song to sleep when Song asks him to make noodles for her. After putting Song to sleep, Sue goes to make noodles. Here, a flashback is shown where Sue is telling Yan, "I will delete all my memories from Song's brain so that she doesn't remain sad after I die." Now in the current scene, Sue deletes all of Song's photos taken with Sue from her phone. Then he also deletes his number from Song's phone. Then he goes to delete Song's memories. But because he has used his superpowers many times, which he shouldn't have, something goes wrong here. The memories are not deleted from Song's mind, but they are from Sue's mind. Then Sue leaves from there. The next day, Song wakes up and goes to call Sue, but she can't find Sue's number. She feels strange and thinks, "I will meet Sue in the office itself." On that side, Chung is still not fully sure if she should get into a relationship with Yan because Yan has trust issues with her. Then Chung finds out about Sue's health from some files, so she tells Yan, "You hid this from me. You don't like me at all." Then Yan makes Chung listen to his heartbeat and says, "Look how much I like you." Chung feels good about all this, and they both kiss. Over there, Sue goes to his company after a long time and, while working, asks a staff member where Chung is. So that staff member says, "Chung ma'am must be with Song ma'am right now." Then that staff member calls Chung and calls her to the office. After this, Song comes to the office, and Sue also goes out of the room. Then in the elevator, Song is with Sue, and just then she tries to get close to Sue, but Sue tries to move away from her. Sue doesn't even recognize Song, so Song goes to show him the photos taken together on her phone, but there is nothing like that on her phones. Then, Song asks Sue to check his phone, so Sue's phone has photos of them both. Still, Sue's mind remains unchanged. Song goes and tells Chung, "Sue is not recognizing me." Hearing this, Chung gets scared. Then they all go to Yan, where Yan tells Sue, "You told me that you would delete all the memories from Song's brain that day, but it seems something went wrong." Still, Sue doesn't remember anything. Anyway, then Song shows Sue a presentation and explains when they both met, what all they did. But Sue says, "If you want money, I will give it to you, but please, leave from here." Song feels very bad and leaves from there. Over there, Chen calls Nuan and asks her to meet. Yinan sees Nuan and goes to her. At the same time, Chen is watching them from a distance, sitting in his car. Yinan felt very bad that Nuan got hurt because of him. Now, Yinan gives Nuan a ring and proposes. Then they both hug each other. Over there, Song is going to Chung's house. When Song was leaving Sue's house, Sue didn't stop her, but Sue was watching Song from the window. Then Song and Chung make a plan that Song will recreate the scene from their childhood where some kids were bullying Sue, and Song had saved him. So Song hires some actors, and they bother Sue. But now Sue has grown up and has also learned to fight, so he beats those actors a lot. After this, Song pretends to be drowning in a swimming pool, but Sue says the depth of this swimming pool is so low that even a child wouldn't drown in it. So Song sees that its height is really small. Anyway, then Song is going through the office corridor when a person is saying about Sue, "Sue is a bad man." So Song throws cold ice at him and says, "Sue is not a bad man. I know him." Sue sees all of this. Then Song meets Yan and says, "I want Sue to get well. I like him a lot." Yan says he will help Song. The next day, Sue and Yan go out for a walk and Sue runs a little ahead. There he meets Song. Actually, this plan is Yan's. Then here, Song and Sue talk. Song says, "I like you very much, but all the memories have been deleted from inside you. That's why I won't bother you anymore." Here, Sue somehow doesn't want to go away from Song because the previous day, he had seen many of his and Song's interviews, from which he found out that he and Song love each other very much. But here, in front of Song, he can't say anything, and Song leaves from there. The next day, Song checks some files from which she finds out that until now, Yinan has taken advantage of the company and has messed up many things. Over there, Yinan was supposed to go with Nuan to see a wedding dress, but Song calls him and tells him the names of some files, so he immediately comes to the office. Song tells him, I don't know who did all this. Then Song tells him, I have a number, and if I call it, I will find out who did this. So Yinan goes downstairs and immediately calls that number, and Song receives that call. Actually, this number is Song's. Now, with this call from Yinan, Song becomes sure that Yinan is behind all this. Just then, Nuan comes to Song and says, How long have you been after Yinan? Song says, I only like Su, and Yinan was the one after me. Anyway, for whatever has happened with Song until now, Song is very sad. She goes to the club with Chung, drinks a lot, and calls Su. Then Su and Yan come there, and they both handle Song and Cheng. Song goes to Su's house and tells him that she likes Su a lot, and now Su also starts to like her, even though he doesn't remember the past memories. The next day, when Song wakes up from sleep, Song says sorry to Su, but Su asks her to pay the bill for the previous day's drinks. Song gets angry because Su is even taking payment for this bill from her. Then Song returns home and looks at a toy of her dad's, and from there, she hears a recording. She finds out that Chen is behind her company's downfall. In fact, Chen's dad is Song's dad's big brother, so he is Song's elder uncle. This elder uncle is actually the result of a secret relationship of their dad, and their dad doesn't have any legal children, so after their dad's death, their dad's company went to Song's dad. Chen had tried to tell Song's dad once or twice that he is his big brother's son, but Song's dad never paid attention to him. Even when the security guards were throwing Chen out of the office, Song's dad didn't pay attention to that matter. Song's dad is at fault in all this, but he was thinking that Chen could also be a fraud. Here, Song saves that recording on her device. Then Song takes that toy to Chen and says, You said you have a similar toy, right? My dad's toy is broken, please fix it. Chen also understands that Song has found out everything. Chen calls Su and asks him to meet. He sends Su videos in which Su is using his superpowers. Chen says, If you don't come to meet, I will make these videos viral. On that side, Song wants to call Su and tell him everything about Chen. Su says on the call, I also have something to say, because Su has also found out about Chen's reality. But Su goes to meet Chen. Here, Song comes to Su's house and sees those videos of Su and understands that Su has gone to Chen. Over there, at Chen's command, some goons attack Su, so Su uses his superpowers and defeats them. Chen is watching all this sitting in the car, but then Su's health starts to deteriorate because he has used his superpowers too much. Chen tells Su, Whatever you did just now has been recorded. I will bring everything about your superpowers in front of everyone. Just then, the other goons start to get up to attack Su because Chen needs Su alive for experiments. Just then, Song comes in a car and saves him, but Chen's men get after them. Song and Su hide in a place, and Song calls Yan and says, Chen's men are after Su. Yan says, Some goons are following me and Chung too. I'll give you the address. You go and hide in my house. Hiding from these people, I will also return home. Then Song throws her phone right there and runs away. Here, Chen's people track that phone and go to the wrong place. Su and Song go to Yan's house. On that side, Yinan goes to meet Nuan. In fact, when Song had told Nuan that Yinan was the one after her, Nuan had broken up with Yinan in anger. Now in the current scene, Yinan explains to Nuan, Chen is not a good man. Don't meet him. Nuan ignores him and tells him to leave. Here, Su and Song are eating together and watching a movie. In the movie, the male lead forgets all the memories spent with the female lead. And seeing this, Song thinks about herself and gets emotional. Just then, there's a power cut. Su says, I have seen this movie 50 times. Here, in the end, the hero remembers everything. And in this way, the movie has a happy ending. Then Su takes Song to the roof to show her a movie. There, he shows her the movie on a big screen. After this, it starts raining, and Song gets wet. Su wipes her with a towel. Song is feeling very good because she is spending so much time with Su. Su has also slowly started to like Song. Over there, on Yinan's advice, Nuan does research on Chen. Then she thinks Chen is a crooked man. Chen calls her and tells her his sad story. He tells how his father's property went to Song's dad, and now he wants that property. He says, I have some of Yinan's documents. If you don't help me, I will misuse these documents. Then Chen comes on Nuan's show and says, I have a human with superpowers whom I will soon bring in front of everyone. Seeing this on TV, Song gets scared and calls Nuan. She calls Nuan to meet. Nuon comes down from her office, from where she and Song are kidnapped by kidnappers. Song screams because Nuon did this to her. Nuon says, "I did this for you, but Chen betrayed me too." They are about to free themselves and run, but Song gets caught. Nuon runs away and tells Yinan everything. Here, Su wakes up from his sleep and Yan and Chen come to him. They say, Song's phone is not connecting. Maybe she is in some danger. Su has a tracker with which he can track Song's watch. With the help of the tracker, Su reaches the place where Song is. He tells Yan and Chung to bring the police. Here, Chen has tied up Song. Song says, "Being my brother, you are doing this to me." Chen says, "I hate you and your dad." Then Su comes there and sees that Chen has tied Song with a rope and lifted her to a great height, and below her is fire. If Song falls somehow, she will fall straight into the fire. Seeing this, Su gets scared. Chen says, "You keep getting beaten by my men. Don't use your superpowers." Su keeps getting beaten. He can't do anything. But somehow, he uses his superpower to remove that fire. And as soon as Song falls, Su catches her. Just then, the police arrive, and Chen starts to run. Then he looks for the video on his laptop in which Su's superpowers are visible. But he can't find the chip for that video. Here, due to his deteriorating health, Su is in the hospital. Yan meets him and says, "We need to think about the operation soon." Over there, Song is crying when Chung comes and tells her that when Nuon found out that Chen had betrayed her, she took out that superpower chip from Chen's laptop. After this, Song goes to Su and says, "You should get the operation done." Then they both get emotional and hug each other. Then Yinan tells Song, "I did very wrong to you. I will go and surrender myself to the police." Now it's also a fact that Song will never be able to forgive Yinan. Then Song meets her dad and tells him everything about Su. She also tells her dad about other things. She also says, Su now has little time left. Her dad says, "Su came here before you. He said he wants to be selfish now. Whatever time he has left, he wants to spend it with you." Then Su is with Song. Song goes to a car and opens the trunk, and she sees a lot of flowers. Su puts a ring on her finger and kisses her. Then, they both get their marriage certificate and get married. After this, Yan tells Su that Su should stay away from Song for a while now. Song can't even cry because of Su, so she should cry her heart out. Over there, Song tells Cheng, "I don't know how much more time I have left to spend with Su." Just then, Yan and Su arrive there. In fact, these four have come on a picnic. Just a little while ago, Yan and Su had gone a little far and were talking. Then when they are together, they enjoy a lot. Then going home, Su and Song sleep together, cook food, and do everything together. They make videos of everything so that they can watch these videos later. After this, it's time for Su's operation, so Song packs Su's bag. Then Su tells Song, "Nothing will happen to me, but if something happens, you should move forward with your career. You want to be a reporter and producer, so you should become that. Now your dad is getting better, then he will also handle the business." Then they both get very emotional. The next day, Nuon calls Song and says, "I made a lot of mistakes. Now I want to start a new life. I will go abroad to study and then work very hard." Song says, "I can't forgive you for what you did, but don't make any mistakes in your new life." Just then, Yinan comes there to Nuon. But Nuon ignores him and starts to leave. Yinan has understood his mistake, so he doesn't stop Nuon either. Then we see that Su and Song are about to get married, where Su, Song, Yan, and Cheng, and Song's dad are present. Just then, Chen arrives there. In fact, that day Chen had an accident, but the police couldn't find his body. This meant that he was alive. He shoots to take revenge. Just then, Song comes in front of Su and the bullet grazes past her. She faints, so Su uses his superpowers to make Chen shoot and kill himself with the gun. Due to using his superpowers, Su faints. Song is in the hospital, and when her eyes open, she finds out that Su's operation is currently happening because he has used his superpowers too much. While the operation is going on, Yan comes out of the operation theater and starts crying a lot. Somehow, he calls Song and tells her, "We couldn't save Su." Song doesn't believe this at all and breaks down. Then she gets some messages from Su's phone. In fact, before dying, Su had set a timer for some messages that would be sent to Song from time to time. Anyway, after some time, Song starts to cope with her sadness, and she starts focusing on her career and working. Slowly, she becomes a very successful producer. Her reporting work is also going well. She is called for an interview where she says, "I promised Su that I would focus on my career." Then, Song is at an award show where she will be given the Best Producer Award. Here, she misses Su a lot. Now, a scene from a day before is shown where we see Song and Cheng sitting together. Song asks Chung, "When will you and Yan get married?" Chung says, "He has been out for a year." I have said, if he doesn't come back now, I won't marry him at all. Song says, I have lost Sue. I don't want you two to be separated either. Chung understands her words and says, I want to get married, but he's the one who doesn't come back. Here, in a flashback, we see Sue had told Yan, if I survive on the operation table, that's fine. But if I go into a coma, you tell Song that I have died. Otherwise, she won't be able to move forward in her career and will just keep coming to see me. Yan had done exactly that. Sue had gone into a coma, and now we see that Yan has been taking care of Sue for a year. Now Yan sees that Sue's hand is moving a little. Seeing this, he becomes happy. Over there, the best reporter in fashion comes to give the award to Song. Just then, Song sees someone who is probably Sue. Song goes to find him, but she doesn't find anyone. In this rush, the ring given by Sue falls from her hand. Then she comes back to receive the award, and that host says, a year ago, Song gave me an award here. With her at that time was another person whom I would like to call. Just then, Sue comes there, who is now completely fine. Everyone is shocked to see Sue. Song becomes very emotional. Sue comes and kisses her and puts a ring on her finger. In fact, when that ring had fallen from Song's hand, Sue had picked it up. Now at home, these two are leading a normal life. One day, Sue gets a letter where he is told to go to the roof. Going to the roof, he sees that Song is there. These two are very happy to be near each other and smile looking at the camera. And with this, the drama ends.